Hi everyone. Welcome. Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. Welcome. How was your first week of 2023? Mine was busy. It was a short week at work, but still had as much work to get done as always. One of those kind of things. It's like when you go on vacation, you work hard to get caught up, and then you have to work hard when you come back to get caught back up. But anyway, we are here tonight to make some cards, and I want to welcome you. If you're not aware, the new catalog went live on Thursday night, and Celebration started Thursday also. So lots of new products to be had, and some great joining offers. The mini stamp and cut emboss machine I have, they've got one that's in blue. It's called Boho Blue. And if you get the starter kit during Celebration, you can opt to get that as one of your options. There's there's three great joining options. One gets you the blue mini stamp and cut emboss machine. One gets you the regular white one. And the third one is a little bit cheaper. Doesn't include the stamp and cut and emboss machine, but includes a lot more product than the usual starter kit. So a great opportunity to get started with a great company. You don't ever have to sell anything. You just you can just be your own happy stamper, happy shopper, and get the great discount. But anyway, little housekeeping as we get started. Please, if you like my video, please share my video and comment. Share down in the comments, and you might win the project we're working on tonight. Last week I made this cute card using two Celebration products, the Owl stamp set and that free DSP. The Owl stamp set, I forget what it's called off the top of my head, you can get for free with a $50 purchase, and the DSP, it's 12 by 12, 48 sheets of 12 by 12 DSP for free with a $100 purchase. That's like a year's worth of DSP, I think. But anyway, great bargain. And because she shared and she shared, Linda Jones is going to get this card. So Linda, I will get that out to you shortly. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome and thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and once you do that, click the little blue bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. I generally upload on Monday nights. Also, for those of you watching on Facebook, Facebook's loving hearts a lot more than thumbs up. So if you'll give me some hearts, I appreciate it. That helps me be seen, helps my video be seen on the algorithm. More people see it, helps my small business, doesn't cost you anything. And I get to show my projects to more people. So I appreciate that. With that being said, I have a technique to show you tonight. It's not a new one, but it's one I've been wanting to show you, and I've just been kind of slow getting to it. And we will get started. I think I'll switch to my hands, and we will get started. Okay, so this is called the floating element technique. And I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can see there. You see behind the strips of yellow cardstock is clear window sheet. And that's the key to this fun technique, is you're building your design on that clear window sheet and using this as your main element in your card. So we are going to do a different variation on this. There's a lot of them out there. There's so many you can do, but I just thought I'd throw a different one out there for tonight. So before we get started, here's my base, and I've already embossed it with the, where's it at? The Gingham embossing folder. And this time I cut my paper to 4 1/4 by 11. The reason I did that is I didn't want a lot of layers on this, but I wanted the front embossed, which means I have to put the whole card base in. So I cut it long so I could put this in, because if it had been the other direction, let me get my other card here that I just had, like this, you know, if I had put it in like this, it wouldn't have run through the machine as well, if that makes sense. So this one I did it 4 1/4 by 11. So it's still a half a sheet of paper of cardstock. I just cut it the opposite direction. Normally I cut it at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So anyway, then you run this through your embossing folder, or your embossing, stamping, cut, and emboss machine, and you get the great design. If you didn't want to do embossing, you could certainly put some designer series paper behind it, but I hadn't used an embossing folder for a while, so I thought I'd do that. So let's see, we are going to get started. And this one, instead of being a circle, I am going to use a square piece of window sheet. I know you can kind of see it. Stampin' Up! Sells this. You can get 2 12 by 12 inch pieces. I think it's $5. I actually just had to order some more. It lasts you forever, because usually when you're using it, you're not using large pieces of it, but they're great for making shaker cards and doing fun techniques like this. So we are going to, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Can you see it on there better? Maybe. Let me get a little piece of white paper that might show up better. Let's see. Yeah, that shows up a little bit better. So I'm going to put my card base to the side. And I decided I was going to go with greens. And I just went into my cardstock folders and pulled out green strips of cardstock, all different color greens, okay, and played with what I wanted, played with the colors I wanted to come up with something. So I thought about doing 5 or 6 different color strips, and then I decided, well, like on this one I had 2 of each of the colors. I think this one's Daffodil Delight. I think this one's Crushed Curry and Mango Melody. And I have 2, 2, and 2, and they're adhered on there, you know, pretty evenly spaced. So these were the ones I decided not to use. So the ones I did decide to use are, this is Pear Pizzazz, and I think I like how this is coming out. This is Pear Pizzazz. We're going to do 2 of those. I've got 2 pieces of Old Olive, and you can see these are all different lengths, because literally these were just scraps, and I cut them in a 1/2 inch wide. And this is Garden Green. So I'm kind of liking this gradation like this. And I think the 2 strips per color is nice. It's not overwhelming. It's not too busy. I think more colors might have been a little bit busy. So we are going to start attaching it to this piece of window sheet. This piece is, I want to double check, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square. And this is the size I'm going to finish with. When I did my circle, I cut my window sheet a little larger, adhered my strips, then put it through my die cutting machine a couple of times to get the circle. So now to adhere to the window sheet, I'm using my Stampin' Seal Plus. This is our super heavy duty adhesive. So like if you are doing 3D projects or something like that, this is what you want to use. And sometimes it can be a little tricky to attach to a window sheet, so I want to make sure it sticks. Now you could use Tombow glue, but I'm going to tell you, Tombow's can be a little messy, and if it seeps out and it gets on the clear part, it really is not very easy to clean. So that's why I decided to go with the Stampin' Seal Plus. Now I'm going to have to kind of lean in. I'm hoping my head doesn't get in the way here. And I I've got Pear Pizzazz, Old Olive, and Garden Green. And I think, so that I can get these evenly spaced, I think I'm going to start, or hopefully evenly spaced. I'm going to get these started in the center, I think. Let me just make sure that this is going to be right. I'm not too concerned if the tops and bottoms are not, you know, if they're a little narrower, but you know what? I probably should try to space these out kind of evenly. I thought I was going to start with the center, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll work my way from the top to and the bottom to the center, but I wanted to. When I did the circle, I didn't have to be this careful because I knew I was just going to cut the circle out. So I think, I mean, we're going to fit. You know, I just need to get my spacing right. And you know what? We're going to go for it here. We're going to go for it. I'm going to put some Seal Plus on this. I'm going to kind of remember where my adhesive is. I'm going to try to line this up right on the bottom there. But when you use 1/2-inch strips, the Seal is the perfect width. It really is. Or the Seal Plus. I'll start at the top and the bottom. We'll see how this is going to come out here. You know, like I said, I haven't made this particular card like this. I only did the circle one. Okay, excuse my head here. Not exactly to the edge, but close enough. Okay, so then we're going to put one like that, one like that, kind of spaced out. I know it's hard to tell because they're all different lengths, but I think that looks good. So my goal will try to be to not move those others so I can keep my spacing. You know what? If it's not perfect, that's okay. I'm trying not to go over the edge if I can so I don't get a lot of adhesive on the ends. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this one now. And I'm going to go more toward this side. Okay. Okay, I think I'm on it here. And this Seal Plus works differently than the Seal. It's a little bit different. Some people think it's easier to use than this regular Seal. It's a little larger. Let's see, is that going to work? Perfect, I think we got it. I mean, if I had trimmed these strips down to be a little closer to the size of this, it would have been a little easier to see. But I wanted to show you how you really didn't have to be too careful. So I'm going to take my snips and just cut along the edge of the window sheet. I'm trying not to cut the window sheet. I've got a glare on from my window sheet for my light. That doesn't look bad. You could put this in your trimmer if you wanted to too, but actually I know myself, I'd probably make a bigger mess of it doing it that way than just hand trimming it and using the edge of the window sheet as a guide. Okay, now it's the moment of truth. Ta-da! There we go. Got something on that. I don't know what that is, but that's okay. So that's going to be our element there. Perfect. I'm not going to put it on yet though, because now I'm going to cut out a black floral design to put on it. And I'm going to use a die from the Forever Flourishing. I'm going to use this. I don't know if it's exactly what it is, what the flower is, but I'm going to cut this out in black. It's from Forever Flourishing dies that coordinates with the Forever Fern stamp set. Okay, so I'm going to use this, taking a piece of black cardstock, and I put a little bit of our adhesive sheet on the back. If you haven't seen our adhesive sheets, they come in a sheet like this. They're 6 by 12, and there's 12 of them in here. And you just peel off one side, you attach it to your cardstock or whatever, and then you run it through your die cutting machine. You'll see how I do this, and it makes it like a sticker. So if this had been a solid image, I wouldn't have really needed this. But since there's holes in it, I just thought this was better. And it's not going to cover the whole thing. You can see it's right there, but it'll cover most of it. So I'm going to put that right there, and it will make attaching it a snap. Where's my top plate? Oh, right here. Da-da-da. I just love this cute little machine. Get that out of the way. We'll be coming back to that here in a minute. Okay, so you can see I've cut through it. Take it out of here. I might have to kind of, okay, that came off. Let me get this out of here. Because this makes it a little thicker, sometimes it doesn't want to separate quite as easy, or the backing wants to come off as you take it out of the die. There we go. Perfect. So you can see I have got adhesive on a large portion of that. Let me put the die back here. Okay, I've got some holes here too. I'm gonna punch those out of the, I'm gonna use my U-pick tool to punch those through. And again, because there's the adhesive on the back, sometimes it's a little bit, it doesn't pop out quite so easy. You have to use a little bit. So there you go. You can see, so I've got adhesive on a good majority of that image, so I don't have to worry about it adhering any other adhesive. The window sheet does it. So I'm going to put this, what do you say, right on there, a little off to the side maybe, like that. Okay. So I'm going to pull this off, backing off. Let me see if I can use this to get this started. There we go. There we go. There's that. So we have this here. I think I'm going to go ahead and I picked out a sentiment I wanted to use to put on here. I'm using the Charming Sentiments and the Coordinating Dice Sentiment Silhouettes. I'm going to use the Wishing You the Happiest of Birthdays sentiment. I already have it set up here, and this is the die for it. But it's nice because these sentiments, or these dies, cut very close to the sentiment. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute. Okay, and I decided I'm going to put one more color in this green in here. This is oh shoot, what is this one called? It just left my mind. Come on here. Soft sea foam. That's right, soft sea foam. So I'm going to use my Memento Black ink. Because it's a photopolymer stamp, I have my black foam mat to stamp on. Put this on here again. This strip of soft seafoam is also a scrap. So this is all scraps tonight for the most part. The only thing that's not scrap is the base. Okay, so time to bring the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back. But you know what? Before I actually start cutting, I want to get my die lined up with my sentiment. As I told you, they fit really tight, and I find it just easier if I line it up here, making sure. And sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to know exactly where to line them up. But I'm going to put that there, that little piece of washi tape to hold that die in place. I find it's easier to get it lined up off of the machine, off of the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Use the washi tape to secure the die in place, and then move it to the machine. Okay, let me put this out of the way. Pull this up. I will just do that for right now. Okay, and there we go. See how nice and tight it is on those words? So I haven't attached anything yet. I want to see where do I want to put it. I kind of like it, I think, there on my square. I didn't know if I wanted it down here or up here, but I think it pops more if it's up here. What do you think? Down. Yeah, I like it right there. So I think I'm going to put it on here. Now, I think I'm going to use dimensionals here. So that means I'm going to adhere this flat to my card. On this one, I popped up the circle with dimensionals. I don't know. Yeah, see, you can kind of see there. But because I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals, I don't want 2 layers of dimensionals. It makes it a little thick when you're mailing it. But I kind of like this sentiment here on dimensionals. And you know what it does? It covers up the end of that stem. I don't know. I just kind of like the end of the stem covered. So I am going to put Seal Plus on the back of this. And I'm going to run it where it can't be seen on the back of the strips, okay? Of the cardstock strips. Because I don't want it to show through. And that one might show through a little bit. There we go, just like that. And because this embossing folder has some lines on it, it helps me line this up straight. There we go. So far, so good. Now I'm going to get some of my mini dimensionals and put on my sentiment. Put one there. Put one here. You know what? This is going to drive people nuts, but I'm going to cut this one in half and put a little bit on those ends. I hate when the end of something gets smushed down like that, so it's just me. I'm going to do one more in the center too. What the heck? I love dimensionals. They're probably one of the easiest ways to add interest to your card, because the fact that it is raised up, it's not all flat, is just another design element on your card. Okay, let me get these. And I think this card really, again, based on whatever colors you use, could be is gender neutral. I think green is gender neutral. You know, purples are. It just kind of depends what colors you use. So there we go. As simple as that. So if you're wanting to place an order for anything you've seen me use today or anything in the new catalogs, here's my website. There's my host code. Please use that. And any order of $35 or more before shipping and tax will get you a gift from me. Okay? Everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight for this floating element card. And I will see you back here next Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern for Stamping with Denise. Bye now, everybody.